Just moving around a little bit will actually wake you up and make you more alert, and it'll make your workout far better. Hey guys, trying something a little different today. Mark McKillier here with Live Anabolic, and I've put together a quick video on how we can get more energy to work out as we get older. Um, and so I'm 61 years old, and I guarantee you I have the exact same problems you guys do when it comes to getting motivated or at least waking up and ready to go work out. Um, and there's a lot of little tips and tricks, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So, unfortunately, as we get older, our testosterone levels just naturally start to decline. And I've shot a ton of different videos right here on this channel on how to increase testosterone and why testosterone is important. And of course, one of the things that comes with high T levels is energy. Low T levels, you tend to have low energy levels, and that's just kind of one of the facts of life. Now, I'm not really going to be talking about testosterone in this video. I'm going to talk about several other things, but if we can kind of get more energy before we start our workout, you're going to get just more out of your workout. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, right? And so I'm going to give you some of my tricks that I use, okay? And I think several of these are going to work for everybody. A couple of them probably don't work for everybody. And so, anyway, just it's real simple to at least give all of these a try. None of these are very hard to do. So, the first thing is, guys, trying to get better sleep, and that's kind of easier said than done, I realize. And I've also shot some videos exclusively on sleep and why it's important. But did you know when you're sleeping at night, that's when your body produces the vast majority of your hormones? Testosterone being the most important one, and testosterone is, responsible for our energy levels on top of lots of other things. So trying to improve your sleep would really help with getting more energy for your workouts. And I just realized, and I shot another video on this also. I had sleep apnea. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea a year ago, and I've been wearing a CPAP machine ever since, and it really did help. But I had had sleep apnea for probably at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years prior to being diagnosed with it. So you guys might be having the same problem. So keep that in mind. So sleep is important. And the other thing is, and not everybody can do this, but nap. You'd be surprised how effective just a 20-minute nap is. There's lots of scientific studies that say naps are really good. They can really help you become mentally more focused. For some reason, when you come out of a nap, you might be sluggish for a few minutes, but really does help. A lot of men really benefit from just a simple little nap. All right, tip number two, real easy. This is my favorite. Coffee. Coffee, guys. And it kind of depends on what time of day you're working out, but this is something I've done my entire life, basically. So back in the good old days when I had an 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 or 8 to 7 job, I would have to work out, on the way home from the office. And man, I was younger. I was in my 30s back then when I was doing this. And guys, I was tired in my 30s. It's kind of natural. It's not just us old guys that get tired, I promise. So if it makes you feel any better, I would take a cup of coffee as I was leaving the office, driving home. Now, if I drove home and tried to change clothes at home and then turn around and go to the gym, I'd never make it to the gym. I'd sit down on that couch for 30 seconds and then I'd never be able to get up. So I had to hit the gym on the way home with my gym bag, change clothes in the locker room. And so I would drink coffee. Now, back in those days, we didn't have pre-workouts. That's another thing. Try a pre-workout. That's a generic term for a powder that you mix with water or whatever. And they have more than just caffeine in these pre-workouts. And some pre-workouts don't have caffeine. So if caffeine is a real problem for you, you can find pre-workouts that don't have caffeine. They have lots of other really cool ingredients that basically just help you become more alert and focused and wake you up. So Anyway, caffeine and pre-workouts are just super simple and really inexpensive ways to kind of increase your energy. Now, tip number three, guys, is more focused on nutrition. And this is also a super simple thing, kind of like tip number two with the caffeine and the pre workout. And that is, you know, give this a try. Okay. This is something that we make. This is a live anabolic product. It's called TestoGreens. It's a greens powder. It's just a powder. You just take a scoop, throw it in some water, stir it up, and drink it down. I mean, it's about a 30-second deal. And this is designed really, we created this specifically for older men. Okay. There's tons of different ingredients in it. It's basically lots of fruits and vegetables and probiotics and some mushrooms and some other stuff in there. It's way too much for me to remember. I mean, I think it's over 40 ingredients. So click the link below this video and it'll take you to our website. We have a wonderful website where we explain everything in here and why we put it in there. Okay. And then when you're looking at that, keep scrolling down below all that information. And that's where you get into the customer reviews. I always recommend that you scroll down and look at the reviews. You don't read them all. There's hundreds and hundreds, okay? But just get a feel for what real, normal, everyday, users are saying about the product. And this is designed really for to balance your hormones, and more specifically your testosterone and your estrogen levels. And so if your estrogen levels get a little too high, and men do have estrogen, it can create all kinds of negative effects. One of which is putting on fat, especially man boobs. But the other thing is low energy levels. Don't want that. So this is really good with helping to flush out excess estrogen, more estrogen than our body normally should be creating. And a lot of guys have that problem because of their nutrition and their exercise and their sleep issues. All right. So tip number 4 is another really straightforward thing that doesn't cost you a nickel, and that is, you're about to work out. I mean, most men have a schedule. All right, I know when I'm going to the gym. You guys probably know when you have your daily workout routine. Get up and move around. Start at least 30 minutes ahead of time, preferably an hour ahead of time. What I find myself doing is I'll be sitting here at the computer and I'll be on Facebook answering all these questions for our group. And I might spend 2 or 3 hours just sitting there typing away. I might be working on my upcoming YouTube videos that I'm going to shoot for the week. And then I realize, oh my gosh, I got to go to the gym. And I've been sitting there just doing this for 3 hours, and it kills my energy. So when I stand up to get ready to go to the gym, I mean, I take my pre-workout, right? But even then, if I had been paying attention and stood up an hour before going to the gym, and just go around, just walk around a little bit, just clean the kitchen or whatever, vacuum the carpet, do something where you're up and moving around, stand up in your computer. Just getting up and moving just a little bit. You don't have to run. You don't have to increase your heart rate. Just moving around a little bit will actually wake you up and make you more alert, and it'll make your workout far better. And then finally, the last one, tip number 5, is the hardest of the tips, and that's why I kept it for the last one, and that's nutrition. So the hardest thing to do is eat right. Working out is far easier than eating healthy. And the reason is, when you work out, guys, it's just a simple, 45-minute, maybe an hour out of your day. And when you're working out, that's all you're doing. You're only focused on your workout. You have no other choice, right? But nutrition is something you have to worry about from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night. You have to worry about what you're putting in your mouth. And that is a real killer. So nutrition is by far the hardest. I've shot tons of videos and put them here on this YouTube channel about nutrition. And because I've spent years, well, maybe decades really, trying to find out how to eat healthy for the lazy man. Because I'm a bachelor and I hate cooking. I don't want to cook a bunch of stuff and cook a meal every, 3 times a day for myself. It just doesn't make sense. So I have a ton of great videos on this channel on how to eat healthy for the lazy man. It requires very little, if any, effort, almost no cooking. tons and tons of really healthy snacks that you can keep laying around the house so that when you do get the munchies, that's fine. You can go raid the refrigerator and you're not going to screw up your nutrition for the day. They'll just be healthy things to kind of munch on. And makes your life so much better because when you're eating healthy on a regular basis, you can't just eat healthy for a day or two and expect things to radically change. But when you're doing it, week after week, all right, you will see a dramatic change in your energy levels. And it really does kick in after just, 3 or 4 days of getting rid of the processed foods that are just omnipresent here in our society. They're just everywhere. They're so easy and they're so tasty. So you get rid of that stuff, start eating healthy, and within just a few days, you'll actually notice a difference. Hope you guys like this kind of new little, caveat on my normal YouTube video. Just trying to see how things work here. I don't want to bore you guys shooting, in the same locations over and over and over. So I kind of enjoy this kind of podcast style. I think it's really neat. It's fun for me. If you guys like it, give us a thumbs up, all right? Share the video with your buddies, and then be sure to subscribe to this channel. And then finally, guys, come on. You got to always stick with it and never give up on yourself.